Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
What's up, bro?
Oh, it's a hot one, Mike. It's a hot.
Man, it's hot everywhere. You seen that chart they put out, man, talking about we in the heat dome. I'm like, man, what's a heat dome, man?
That means it's hot.
Everything under the dome
It's
is
hot.
hot. So
Oh,
it's I don't know about you, Ken, but it's hard for me to deal with this, 90s, and then the heat index is over 100.
yeah, same here, Mike. It's about 91 right about now.
Mm.
It's supposed to get up to about 94.
Bro, y'all,
So,
man, I know y'all up there running around in loincloths. You know how they do in Wisconsin. As soon as the sun come out,
oh
folks
man,
be out there. It be like 40 degrees. They be in shorts.
shorts.
Yeah, they
I don't
hard
get
up
that
there.
one, Mike.
Yeah, they hard up there. But Ken, we have to talk about game 6. And folks, why Ken gathering his thoughts on that, go ahead, hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification button. We really want to hear from you. We got game 7 coming up. And what do you think? Tell us about game 6, man. Were you shocked or what? And what you think
Mike,
about
somebody
game
must have
7?
told OKC that they didn't have to show up
Yeah,
and they
Ken.
still would win.
So what are your thoughts, man? Well, first of all, going into it, let me just preface this. We both thought OKC was gonna close it out. We
Oh,
thought it'd be close, but we thought they were gonna
right.
close it out. So
Close it out.
what man, so what are your thoughts, man, watching the game and then coming away from it?
Maybe they were distracted that Tyrese was injured the game before, so they had their mindset on that. But man, I don't know what they were thinking. Tell you the truth, Mike. Um, OKC came out flat. Didn't seem like they were, let's just say, jacked up for a closeout game to win it on somebody else's court. That would have been my mentality.
Yes.
Um, they shot poor. I think they were 1 for 10 in the first half from three.
Yeah, 1 for 10, and then they finished 8 for 30. They shot 26% from and they were at halftime, Ken, they were 9% from the three.
And then on the other side, you got to give it to Indiana. They said, "Look, we're not gonna lose this on our home court." They came out and played. They played well. Um, they were up by 30 at one time, and OKC made a little run, but it didn't make a difference. That game was over probably, I would say, midway through the third quarter. It's just OKC didn't. Their defense was just
Ken,
it was
let
terrible.
me give you a number here. Um, Indiana shot 18 more shots than OKC. 18
See,
more shots than OKC. And when you talk about their defense, oh man, OKC had 21 turnovers.
that was good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, what? And they only had 14 assists. So, we look at the assists and we know, Ken, like you pointed out, that's hero ball. That's one-on-one ball. If you coming away with 14 assists and the other team got 23, we know who passing the ball.
Right. But then in the third quarter, in the first 5 minutes, OKC came down time after time after time, shooting a three, no passing, not trying to look for the open man, come down, shoot the three, come down, shoot the three. I'm like, and then okay, you guys still got to play defense on the other end. That didn't happen. So somebody, I don't know if they coach told them, yeah, you just have, just show up, you're gonna win this championship. It don't work that way, Mike. And like I said earlier, my mentality was like, I'm winning this on their home court.
Thank you.
That you know,
That's the ultimate domination. Okay, I'm taking this on your home floor. I don't need a game 7. The GOAT didn't need a game 7. The GOAT never played a game 7, and he took it on plenty folks' home court, man. So we got the iconic Utah Jazz shot You know, when he gangster Brian Russell with the little push off, you know, it was a little yeah, it was a little gangster move. Pulled up.
can't be no worse than what they doing now.
Oh man, Mike pulled up, bruh, and left the pose. Iconic, bruh. Where was that at? In Utah. Listen, Ken, when I look at the Thunder, um, the way you lose to Indiana is you don't pass the ball because you have to make Indiana's defense work.
Work.
You got to move them side to side. If you let them just sit in the pocket, like OKC has done in the games they have lost in this series, their assists have been down because they're not passing the ball. SGA going 101. J Dub going 101. Everybody else sitting around watching these cats go to work. And I understand there's moments in the game where you need to get that bucket, right? Momentum or
Right.
something. You need, listen, give me the ball, get out of the way. I get
Right.
that. But you have to make Indiana. You slow Indiana's offense when they got to take the ball out the basket. Those long threes that come off the rim, Indiana got you. They got you, bro. Because they all of them running. All
Right.
of them, man, they sprinting, man. And then they got you in the spin cycle. You trying to close out. You trying to do this. And then, boom, here's the three. See ya. And those are momentum, man. Killers, man. When you, even if you're having a little success like OKC had, Ken, coming out, you know, the first couple of minutes,
Minutes. Right.
yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, they dialed in. And then all of a sudden, Indiana went on a run. I was like, hold on, man. Like, call a timeout. He was just letting them play. I was like, So I think we're seeing in those games where OKC is losing, he's being out coached. Chet had 4 points. Ken, man,
Hey, but Mike, he was just he was playing terrible. I could see why he had 4 points. He didn't have anything going.
but you know what, Ken? You got a deeper bench. He got to go to the bench. He he
Okay,
he, he got to go to
but
the bench, Ken.
the other thing, Mike, Dort was on the milk carton. Where was he at?
Dork has had he's not had a good offensive series. I know he's been trying to lock down on the D, and much of Halliburton's issues have been Lou Dort. But you're sacrificing that, right? So you're allowing for him to be all over this dude and making it rough for him, being physical with him. Um, and his offense is suffering. So who else you got? Chet not showing up. Okay, like you say, on the milk carton. Then you got Wiggins. Where did he go? You know, the game before
Yeah,
that, he hitting threes and threes. So where
there's
did he go? Like they say, man, role players don't play good on the road, man. And it's like this is a telling situation where we see you had J Dub and SGA was the only ones trying to ball. I mean, everybody else was just like, I don't know if the moment was too big for them. But Ken, isn't this why you play basketball? So that you can get to the finals and get to a close out
uh,
game. Bruh, that's the game where you play. Matter of fact, Ken, that's the most important game of your basketball career up until this point. You tell me you not giving 110%. You see how Indiana just outworked them.
outworked them, out hustled. I
What?
mean, they came to play. I mean, you got to, Mike, you got to give Indiana as a team. They play good, solid basketball the way it should be played. But I'll say this, not to take anything away from Indiana. I think Miles Turner, he's kind of slipped as far as his production is concerned. He's not as playing as well as the previous, rounds were concerned. I'll say also, Neesmith has kind of slipped a little bit too. Siakam is just killing him.
Yeah, I mean, there's no to me. I think you have to use somebody else off the bench that's got a little bit more height, got a little bit more girth to them. because
Mm.
Siakam is just getting, and Ken, we talked about this before the series. We thought he was going to be extremely important for Indiana in order for them to win because of just of the matchup. There's
Right.
nobody, they have nobody on OKC that Mark Dagnall is willing to play that can match up with him. And I just, again, man, I don't want to be critical of his rotation, but I thought Chet played too long with no. Ken, I thought he was when I was looking at the stats, he was like a minus 41. Yes, I was like, dude, like what is that? Like, no, you cannot have that many minutes and have that negative impact on the team. You should have sat him down. He wasn't doing that anyway. So I'm saying,
Well, right.
and it's not like you were leading. So you might as well try somebody else and give them an opportunity to go in there and battle and work hard because man, again, OKC cannot win this championship with two people. And
But right now, Chet is at a +4 for the series.
probably
For the
for the
series.
series,
Yeah, for
but
the
if we
series.
look
But that
if we look at the games they lost,
uh
okay, it's been his lack of production. Um, I mean, J Dub,
Caruso.
his numbers look good, but the eye test, we know the early part of the season he was not playing well. The series, just the last few games is where he's really started to get his rhythm, and it was even suspect the other night. So I don't when they're
He
key,
had a minus
he
he had a -5.
yeah. I mean, so and when they key on SGA, if you're not hitting any threes in today's game, what NBA teams are simply going to do is just pack the paint. That's all they're gonna do. Where SGA trying to get to? He trying to get
Mid
in.
range.
Yeah, he trying to get in that 8 to 10 foot range, and you see that he's trying to split. He's turning the ball over. That's because they have no ball movement. OKC cannot feel confident going into Game 7. Now, if you had a went down to the wire and Indiana won. You go, okay, you tip your hat to them. But no, they beat you down. They spank you. Okay, no,
Yeah.
they embarrass you. Okay, that man, I have to go back in history, and I'm sure it's happened before. But man, we don't see many closeout games, man, where people are just getting the breaks
Oh
broke
my.
off of them, bro. We don't what? Can't I was like, what are these dudes doing, man? Was it a young mentality that just, set in and said, hey, we ain't gonna win this thing, so we got Game 7. And we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want to, so we just gonna go ahead and go through the motions because Indiana stomped them.
Yeah, you're right. But Mike, two things. For me, it goes back to Denver series when they had to go Game 7 to get out, to get out of there. It just shows me the lack of focus. And then the other thing is that I don't, say he was just it. It just he had 8 turnovers in the last game, and that's just that that's just not him.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that, like you said, there was no ball movement. There was it was really iso ball more than anything. I think J Dub, yeah, he had 40, the other night and had a decent night, game before. But Caruso is. I thought he was. Remember, I said he was going to be the key for
Mm-hmm.
OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2 games, he really hasn't really
Mm-hmm.
done too much of nothing.
I think they've asked too much of Caruso because
Okay.
Ken Caruso he's not a 20-point scorer per game.
Oh no,
Okay.
no,
So he's
that's
had
not.
some big games in this series, right? So if you sit back before the series started and I told you, I said Caruso's gonna have 2 20-point games, you would go, man, okay, see,
Who?
got these boys, right? Like, but you not that's unexpected production. And so I think he's in a role where he's thinking now I have to score. That's a different mentality because he's looking around. Chet is low performing. Wiggins is low performing. Wallace is low performing. So he's looking around going, I got to put some. Hardenstein, his where's his little floater? The floater he been putting on everybody. Like, every
Float
time
on.
yeah, exactly. Float, float, float on. Some folks don't know about that, Ken. That's way back in the day. But man, yeah, where's the floater? I mean, that's non-existent, man. So I think Caruso is thinking in his mind, I have to put up some points. And that takes away from really who he is on that court, man. And until they can get back to a more balanced offense, I'm gonna tell you like this: anything can happen in the game 7. We know
Oh
this.
yeah.
Somebody can twist the ankle, first minute in the game, something can happen, and all of a sudden, every chance when you have a closeout game and you are favorite in the series and you're favored to win that game, you close that deal because you don't know what's going to happen next game. And I'm going to say this, Ken, there's no pressure on Indiana.
It, mm-mm.
There's no pressure on them. Indiana was never favored in this series anyway. Matter of fact,
Right.
people didn't even give them a chance. And so if they lose game, if they get blowed out in game 7, everybody's just gonna say, well, Indiana gave it a good show. All the pressure now.
It's on OKC.
And guess what? Game 6, all the pressure was on Indiana. So they should have came in there freewheeling. We gonna do our thing, take care of our business. This, that. No, all the pressure is on them. And Ken, if the game is close down the stretch, the last couple of minutes, Indiana hosting that trophy in OKC. OKC cannot beat them in a close game. Psychologically, they're already done. They're already Indiana. The games Indiana won, they walked them down. Okay, so that's in their mind. The fact that they got the brakes beat off of them the last game and got embarrassed, that's in their mind. So you're coming back for a game 7 for another closeout game. If OKC comes out and plays their game with confidence, they're hitting from the 3, then they might just blow Indiana out. But I'm gonna tell you like this, Ken. I think that's the only way they win. I think if Indiana is within striking distance in the last 3-4 minutes of the game, the pressure, because they know they didn't blow it. They know they didn't. Man, listen, Ken, you can't leave Indiana with a beat down like that, not thinking like, man, what happened? Are we a championship team? Are we really? Man, SGA said afterwards, we just sucked.
Man.
What does that mean? You had the best record in the league. You the MVP. You're trying to tell me in a game 6 closeout,
you can't play no better than that?
We suck.
Mike, I tell you, the other thing that just, I don't want to say makes me go crazy, but Indiana is just beating them just on, I'm going to say, more hustle than anything.
Yeah.
TJ McConnell is just giving them fits defensively and offensively. And I'm just like, man, come on.
It's Wallace can't stay with him. Wiggins can't stay with him. He get that switch and he get Hardenstein on him. Listen, this is the thing that killed me about TJ. You know what he gonna do?
Right, exactly.
There's no he gonna try to get to the baseline. When he come across the right side, you know what he gonna do? He gonna get to his spot and he's gonna jump back and shoot every single time. I'm saying, like, and if he's on the baseline, he's trying to run the baseline either to get to the other side to lay it up. He's looking for the cutter, bruh. TJ does the same thing every time, and these guys, man.
The other thing you're gonna do, Mike, is that reverse pivot.
Thank you. And it's like, so are you watching film? Are you watching film?
Right.
Like, cut off the baseline, bruh.
Mike, we learned that back in high school.
Bruh, you be going to the bench if you gave up the baseline. Hey, that was Trove's thing, right? If you gave, all you heard was that, you knew it. you you just went right to the. He hated when you gave up the baseline, man. Listen, cut him off. You know where he's going. And the thing about TJ, he's got to shoot going right. That's what he does. He gets to his right side and he pulls up. You got to force him left. Cut the baseline off. Force him to the inside where you got help. Nah, bro, they let him go all the way around, bro. Each and every time. It to me, I'm concerned for OKC. I have zero concerns for Indiana. Indiana have shown us throughout this playoffs who they are.
Yeah.
We know who they are. We know what they're going to do. They're going to try to put you in the spin cycle. Even if you score, the ball's coming out quick. They're trying to get up threes. They're trying to get in the paint so that they can kick the ball out 4-3. Listen, those transition points, they're trying to get out. As soon as you can't be celebrating, flexing, and doing all that stuff. You can't do that. And on the other
You got to get
end,
back.
you got to make their defense work. You got to make Indiana work on defense, man. One-on-one basketball is advantage Indiana. And so to me, Ken, I am highly concerned about whether or not OKC can win a game 7.
So let me ask you this then. So who who you going with as far as tomorrow night?
Well, Ken, if my I want OKC to win, man, naturally, right? I'm in the city. But my heart says Indiana gonna get them. My heart says just if they don't get a supporting cast, I don't see how they beat Indiana in a close game. And if they mess around and come in playing, they might get stomped on. I'm just gonna be honest, man. Indiana is feeling great.
Oh,
They feeling great.
we
Indiana
just got
had
to win one game.
one game, and Indiana had no idea. They came in, they thought, man, we fighting for our lives. And then when they were able to punch him, and they had the first knockdown, Ken, the first 8 count, then they got back up, and Indiana was like, oh, we didn't already took their heart. Bro, they backpedaling. They trying to get away from the blows. That's why Indiana just started like, we just gonna show out now. Boom, behind the back. Alley oop. Oh, we showing out now. Like we clowning y'all now. So going back, oh man, they got all the confidence in the world. OKC is gonna have to come out and punch them in the mouth. If they don't come out, Ken, and say, that was an anomaly. If they don't come out and say, look, you in our house, man, let Indiana have a good first half. OKC in trouble, man. I just think I have no confidence, Ken, after seeing last game that you can go from that sort of embarrassment in your play to come back and step up and to be able to beat this team when this team believes they got your number. Rick Carlisle think I got their number. I got them. He got the formula. And Ken, they're going to have to, OKC is going to have to decide now how to break up that formula. They got the formula, Ken.
But you said something earlier in the show that role players play better at home at home compared to the road. I think Wiggins will play better. I think Caruso will probably play better. I think there probably be some type of urgency from OKC compared to last game. I think it's going to be a close game, but I still think that Oklahoma City is going to win the series.
Well, I hope you're right, Ken. If the role players step up, I think OKC is hard to beat. They're hard to beat because that tells me that the ball is moving. That tells me you're going to have several guys that are going to have double figures. That tells me you're going to have a bunch of assists. That tells me usually when folks are scoring and they feel good about their offense, they're locked on defense. We know how the modern player is. My offense dictates my defense, not the other way around. So yeah, if all that lines up, I agree. I just don't know. Even the role players with the pressure of a game 7, that long flight coming back, knowing how you were beat down, knowing the man. I'm telling you, Ken, the atmosphere in the city is not good.
Really?
Man, they were
And they had
hurt.
all
They were
they had
hurt.
all them folks at that
Man, all those
that,
people stood out in all that long line. I sent Ken a picture. All these long lines just to get into
yeah.
the arena to watch the game, right? And they watched a beat down. And so the next day, Thunder fans, bro, they were not happy at all. And it wasn't that they were uh not happy they lost.
The effort.
Ken, everyone I talked to, man, was like, I mean, seriously, people are saying, do you think they just did that because they want to win it here? I mean, that was Ken, that was it. I mean, people were shocked by the lack of effort, like you said, Ken, the lack of hustle, the lack of aggressiveness, the lack of urgency. It was like they were just lethargic. And so, bro, the folks that folks still, I mean, the arena's gonna be off the chain. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The noise level is gonna be crazy. Bring triple here in protection. However, man, Thunder fans worry, bro. They worry, man. They no, they man. Who wouldn't be worried if you see your team go in a game 6 and get the breaks, and you like, no, man, no, man. So because Kim, what we're saying is we're gonna see a night and day team, right? So
Well,
we're gonna see a completely different OKC team, or we could say we're gonna see the real OKC team because whoever we saw, none of that can work its way back into game 7. Not the turnovers, not the small number of assists, not the lack of steals, lack of blocks. None of that can work its way into game 7. Now, who knows what's going to happen? I can't get into those young men into their minds and what they're thinking, man. But I'm here to tell you, Ken, they took a loss, man. They took a loss, man, and it's gonna go down. And that is one of the worst finals loss in NBA history. I know the score didn't end up being 30,
the way, right?
but again, you watched that game, you thought, oh my God, can they throw in the towel now? Can they just let's just
Stop
quit
it.
now? Because we don't want to play and we
Well,
just
they
need
did quit.
you know what I'm saying? So you got
I got
you got
OKC. I
okay.
think
See.
the
Okay.
other thing, Mike, I think Dort will have a better all around game. I'm not saying that he has scored, let's just say 20 or anything like that. He will have just a better game overall for OKC. I think I'll say this on the other side. I think Indiana, what they will need to win this, I think both Toppin and Turner need to have at least 17 apiece for them to win this game.
Well, Turner is due a game.
Right, right. That's yeah.
He that good where you not going you for 7 games you not going he
Hold them down.
he and him being and get this, Ken, him being the most senior mature person on that team understands the pressure that they're going to face better than anyone. So I see him coming out setting the tempo for them. um I don't know about Toppin. Toppin is a type of player, and I love Toppin, man. I'll be honest. Even when he was in college, man, I love that boy, man. Man, you throw it up right there.
Oh shoot.
You better protect your head. Yeah, and he has improved so much on his 3 point,
Threes. Yeah.
man. So he's turned to a heck of a player, man. I hated when New York. I thought that was a mistake. When I think about if New York still would have had him this year, you know what I mean? Like I think that was a mistake getting rid of him. But I don't know if he is ready for this. And the young player that he is to perform like he's been performing. Because Ken, if it wasn't for Top, oh, it'd already be over. Let's be honest. There was a couple of games where he was keeping them in the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what I'm saying is he's been big in this series, man. So I man, again, at the end of the day, um, I can't say with certainty that I have confidence that OKC can win because they have not shown me really throughout this playoffs consistently playing their basketball. If folks watch the Thunder during the year, there's a reason why they had the number one record. Night after night, they'd lock you down on defense. Night after night, they had 20, 25 assists. You know, there's a reason why they were playing ball like they were playing ball. Multiple players, man, in double figures and blocks. And you in the playoffs, we find that, man, where's that team? Where's that? So Ken, if we see that team, uh Indiana might Indiana might not even stay in the gym. I mean, you know, that's how crazy this is, Ken. Like, it's so crazy when you think, like, if this team actually played the ball in the way they will, then this team can't even stay in the gym with them. But you don't know. I know what I'm gonna get from Indiana, though. See
Oh
that
yeah,
see that's the beauty. See, this is why I have to give Indiana respect as much as I hate Indiana. Always back to Reggie Miller. I don't even like seeing Reggie Miller on the sideline, right? But I'm gonna say this. I have to give them credit because you know who they are. You know their identity. They play together as a team. They
yeah.
fight together. And man, for that, I got to give, man, I tip my hat and give them big respect because I like to see that sort of basketball, man. And I must admit, I like seeing their style of basketball and how they play. They have improved their defense. And so man, I you know, you got to give players the respect they deserve, and I'll give them that.
Oh, definitely.
So that's why I have, and at this point, more confidence because I know who's gonna show up. If you tell me is OKC gonna show up like they should show up, I'm not sure. If you tell me will Indiana, yes, Indiana's gonna show up the same way every single game. We didn't seen it throughout the playoffs. They haven't taken a even when they have lost, they have still played their style of game. And the games they have lost, you know, 3-point shooting percentage is terrible. Turnovers were terrible, but they still got out there and fought. You didn't you okay, let me say this, Ken. When I watch Indiana play, I have never seen quit in them.
Okay, yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I seen quit in
Yes.
OKC.
Yesterday I did. Yeah.
That
They
that
were looking at each other like,
that's what bothers me. When you see quit, when you see, I don't care if we down by 25. No. We 5 minutes, we working. You know, we doing what no. When I see quit in you, man, there's a point in an athlete when you break an athlete. You know, when you hit them with that body blow and you see them like move back a little bit and you see them eyes open up, you know then yeah,
yeah.
there's quit in them. And I again, that Ken, that first quarter is we gonna wrap this up, folks. But that first quarter is going to be crucial.
Mike, let me this. I'll end it this
Yeah,
way.
give us
For
the
me,
last word, Ken.
is that I think OKC in the Denver series they was up 3-2, lost game 6, came back and won in game 7. I think this, um, unfortunately, that's the trend. I think they'll do the same thing on Sunday.
Folks,
So
we are going with what Ken said. OKC raising the banner in the not the banner, but they gonna get the Larry O'Brien
trophy.
coming up Sunday. So folks, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity into our everyday life. This is why they play the game.